The remake of John Powell's Magnum Opus, Test Drive from How to Train Your Dragon, has had a mixed reception, seems like the same thing, and yet it feels different, which makes it hard to describe for some.
Very full and so rich.
Let's look at all those things using the original sheet music and the sheets for the new one. The new cue is Test Driving Toothless. At first glance I thought it was Test Drive 2, which I like better. It has a sense of humor to it, acknowledging this isn't the first time they're doing this, but this is Test Driving Toothless. So how does it compare? Seemingly almost nothing has changed. Thanks for watching. It's the same tempo, 111 beats per minute, easy to remember. It's mostly the same orchestration, we'll come back to some new instruments later, and despite the sound, it's not a smaller orchestra. It's still 12 horns, which is still huge. Same dynamics, they're not playing louder or quieter this time. Melody and harmony are note for note the same, almost all the way through.
But there are a lot of differences going on, and I'm trying to make them feel as if they always were there.
So why does it feel different? Mainly it's the mixing, which is where it catches a lot of flack, but more on that later. There's way more guitar. The original only shows one drone in the guitar, while this one shows slightly more. The new one also has fewer rests, playing in every bar up until the new section. The guzheng is new, a Chinese instrument Powell's used in Kung Fu Panda, and the dulcimer is more prominent, getting a pulse throughout and some of the melody. This, believe it or not, is the closest thing to Powell's newer scores, since the Test Drive reprise ending The Hidden World does the same. It wouldn't be How to Train Your Dragon without bagpipes, but I think they've been scaled back. They're only on one octave at the start, more unified. But they've been thrown out completely from the ending. Although behind-the-scenes reveal bagpipes recorded live this time, whereas they were sampled on the first movie. If you thought this one sounded a little harder hitting, you'd be right, because epic hits have been added. The original feels smoother, almost like, you know, flying. But the flying in this one does look kinda rough, so maybe it kinda fits. What else is actually new here? The B theme is reprised one extra time, with extra strings in the melody. But the most obvious addition is this ethereal part to fit the new scene. Now, I haven't reluctantly seen the movie yet, but this bit in the choir could be a new theme if Powell looked at the 8 themes and 2 motifs already in the first movie and decided, no, this isn't enough, which is actually plausible. Finally, the ending is different. The drum hits on the same beat as the last note for the other instruments. Some love it and some hate it, and I think a lot of that is down to the mix. It's not hard to find fans of it, which I think is pretty self-explanatory, so I'd like to highlight some criticism. This Reddit thread was one of the earlier reactions and shows a colder reception, naming the muddier mix and flat performance. And you might think, hey, that's just Reddit, but among these commenters is Eric Woods, the host of Cinematic Sound Radio podcast, who's been reviewing film music for almost 30 years, and is a big fan of John Powell's work. Marcus Warner enjoyed it quite a bit, which you can see in his original video, although in an email he called it very 2025-esque mixing, and called the original unbeatable. And Andrew Meredith, who plays multiple brass instruments and knows a lot more about this than I do, felt it was very treble-heavy and lacked momentum. Do I love it or hate it? Neither, but I don't like it either. I made a video 2 years ago when this movie was confirmed, saying that I'm not interested in the score, and that's still true. The new parts must be necessary, but they feel disruptive, they don't flow, and they reduce the tension of the piece. I don't feel anything in this. There's no sense of lift or momentum the original excelled at that made it feel like flying. And it's been less than 5 years since the last remaster. It's neat to hear some of the instruments that were there in the original, but it's come at a cost. It feels more like a really high-quality fan cover, kind of like the Hogwarts Legacy track that sounds almost exactly like Test Drive, but I don't think was recorded with a live orchestra. But it's not Powell's fault, because what else is he supposed to do?
Test Drive had to be there.
A lot of comments have expressed faith in him, and yeah, he's good, but it's mostly going to be a remix, like the movie. He wants to be there, but this is a really unfair position for him to be in that leaves him with no right choice. He said it himself before he started.
What I've said to people is it's either going to be the easiest job I've ever had or the hardest.
I really hope this was the easiest. If you need a refresher on those themes from the original movie, check out this video that explains each, and comment your thoughts on the new cue. Thanks for watching.